Welcome to the Selling Show, where we unpack, repack, and break down exactly how CEOs, founders, and senior executives sell their ideas, point of view, and personal brand to the people who matter most. This is your host, David Newman, and you are in the right place if you want to build market eminence, amplify your influence, and attract high-value prospects, investors, partners, talent, and media opportunities with less chasing and more confidence. Let's go. You have heard a lot about group coaching. You have heard that group coaching is the future. It's scalable, it's saleable, it's monthly recurring revenue, it's amazing. But there is so much smoke, so much mirrors, and so much nonsense. I have the man, the myth, the legend that's going to help us cut through all of that, Mr. Chris Williams of Group Coach Nation. Welcome to the show.
David Newman is truly a great when it comes to group coaching. You've been doing this for a while, buddy. Like, what are you talking about?
I have, but it's funny. And I want to start out by kind of getting your quick story, but there is, especially now, right, 2025, there is so much old information, wrong information, and partial information that you and I are going to unpack, repack, and get people the real deal. But before that, tell people the Chris Williams story. How did Chris Williams become Chris Williams?
All right, let's work our way backwards through time, because I think as entrepreneurs, that's the way we make sense of things.
Love it.
We have no freaking idea what's coming 6 months from now, right? Come on, let's be honest. Yeah. So I'm in group coaching, mastermind building. That's all we do at Group Coach Nation. But that didn't happen, unfortunately, by design. I wish it had. It happened because we were running a mastermind group coaching program around agencies scaling and growing. I was working like an hour and a half a week in a creative agency. I'd owned a financial agency before that. I was really good at the agency model, systems, team, and then let it spin, right? So people started asking me all the time, like, Chris, how do you, and I want everybody listening, like listen to what I'm about to say, because you can find your idea if you don't already have it. I'm sitting at Starbucks, I'm paddleboarding, I'm skateboarding, I'm walking the dog, all these things like between 10 and 2 on Tuesdays, right? And people are like, Chris, I see you around town. Are you selling drugs, or did you lose your job, or did you get an inheritance? Like, what's going on? I'm like, no, I figured out how to run my business in like an hour and a half a week. Like, cool. So I realized they kept asking, can I go to lunch? Can we talk about this? If people are asking you, can I talk to you about this? Will you help me understand this? You can sell that information. Okay, so I realized I'm going to build a group coaching model around how to run your agency effective, a creative digital marketing agency. Within about 7 or 8 weeks, we'd sold our first 10 seats or so. And I was like, oh my gosh, I got a group coaching program now. I just kind of stumbled into it because people were asking, right? And then 6 or 8 months into that, the students that were going through were like, well, you teach us how to build a mastermind or group coaching thing. So we started showing them how we started it. Like, you just follow the progression. And I don't know, we did that kind of on the side for maybe a year or two. And we're like, this is what we really love. My team loved it. I loved it. And so I guess 8 years ago now, we went all in, and all we've done for the past 8 years is just research and advise and build group coaching programs and masterminds.
So I want to dig into that, because that's so brilliant. And I love that it's the accidental, it was, the hey, let's go to lunch, let's have coffee business idea that you're like, wait a minute, I think people are hungry for this information, these insights, these strategies. I can make money by helping them, coaching them, teaching them, and then coming alongside them to help them make it happen. I want to ask you, as your business has evolved, what is the most surprising thing, not to people like us, what's the most surprising thing to you about your business as it is today?
I think it's that I actually get to do something I like. There's so many books and podcasts and YouTube videos about that, and Disney movies. I know. But I think if we're honest, most of us are like, yeah, but 80% of the freaking day, I hate doing this crap, And I like started really anchoring into, do I like this or not? And I'm like, okay, there's a chunk of this I don't like. And then you always go, well, but that's what makes the money, right? Or that's what I think my clients need or whatever. Well, forget that for a second. Do I like it or not? And if you don't, then what do you like? And two things have to happen. One, can I make money doing what I like doing? And if I can't see the light there, two, go ask questions of people around what you like doing. Hey, I love doing this. Do you know anybody who could use help with this? What are you trying to figure out around this? Ask the questions. That's what I did with the mastermind thing. People start saying, here's what I need help with. Yeah. And it like works. You can actually do it.
I love that. And I'll tell you why. For a long time, and it's so funny. So I started my business in 2002. I started group coaching in 2009. And I wish you were around doing this back in 2009, because I said to myself at one point, I said, I've always thought I wanted more clients. And I actually don't want more clients because at that time, I didn't like what I was doing. I don't want more clients. You know what I want, Chris? I just want more checks. I just want the money. I don't want the clients. And if I had thought about, what part of it do you like that will also bring in the money? But my friends, I think Chris points out a very important point here, that if you're saying to yourself, you know what? I thought I wanted more clients. I don't want more clients. I just want more checks. You're doing something wrong, and something needs to be brought back into alignment. So let's talk about group coaching. Group coaching, because I've seen some of your amazing testimonials. I've seen some of your marketing. It all sounds incredible. The part that I want to get people over the hump with is they have a conversation with you or someone on your team, and they say, but Chris, I don't have an audience. I don't have a big list like you have a big list, like I have a big list. I don't have a following. I've got 200 people on Instagram, and I've got 500 Facebook friends, and I don't have a following. I don't have a list. Will this work for me? Let's bust that objection right now. What would you say to that person who's basically starting at square zero or close to zero?
I'd say 2/3 of the people who join Group Coach Nation to build something don't have a list. The third that do, let's just debunk this real quick. The third that do, about half of those, we have to fix. Meaning their list is messed up. They've been selling a bunch of low ticket, free offers. It's just an info list, or it might be a crappy list. Nobody's actually paying attention, whatever. Yeah. That could be on their favorite social platform or their email. It doesn't matter to us. And then about half of the third, so a sixth. So out of every 100 people, less than 20 of them actually have a list that's worth anything and it works. Okay? So most of the people we work with, over 80%, list is not a thing that's going to help them. We prefer that actually, because it shows, I think the confidence is a big play here for yourself. People who have a list and they launch a mastermind or group coaching program and they sell 20 seats at $20,000 a piece and they make $400,000. Yay, you. If it came from your list, the next thing you're going to think is, oh crap, have I just burnt my list? And can I do this again year after year or month after month? That's a really worthwhile question. Okay. The people who don't have a list, they go out there, they do this, they're going to sell 10 or 20 seats at $20,000. I'm just picking numbers here. It could be $50,000, $100,000,
sure,
$10,000, I don't care. They're going to go sell it. They're going to make $400,000. Oh my gosh. The confidence is through the roof because they just did it from scratch, which anybody can do. And they're like, oh, now I see how to fish in a brand new ocean, and I can do this again and again and again. And that's what I would prefer, because that is a huge step forward from a confidence standpoint. And if you can take that step the first time, it solves so many mindset issues on rounds 2, 3, and 4.
Hey now, what a great episode, right? Are you ready to build your own market eminence game plan using the power of speaking, publishing, and podcasting? Book a chat with me to build your plan and see if and how I might help you further. The link is doitmarketing.com/call. No sales team, no pressure, no goofballs, just you and me having a CEO to CEO chat about what's possible for you and your company. Hop on with me, doitmarketing.com/call. And now, let's jump right back into the interview. I want to talk about the offer. I mean, we have so much to talk about, but I want to talk about the group coaching offer, the scalable offer. You say, which I totally agree with, it needs to be simple. We need to solve one very tight set of problems. We need to create very simple breakthroughs with minimum effort, minimum complexity. We need to make people almost feel like our system, our method is magical in some way, because it takes 90% of what everyone else says. Here's what it takes to fix the problem. Watch these 500 videos, come on to 27 60-minute calls. You'll be assigned a personal one-on-one coach. You get 5 calls a month with them. And it's like, oh my God, people like, I will never be able to put a program together that is that complex. Why is simple better? And then I have a follow-up question, which is, if we're so good at solving this problem simply, where's the recurring stick factor? But let's talk first about why is simple better, and then we'll talk about how we get them to stick around after the initial 3 to 6 months.
First of all, dear listener, with your AirPods stuck in your ears in the grocery store right now, David Newman knows what he's talking about. These are good questions. Most people don't ask these questions. So we'll keep listening to David's episodes. You're obviously here for him, not for me. Here's the truth about this, David. In my position, which I am so grateful for, I get to spend about half of my time researching. All I do is research and ask questions of the best run masterminds or group coaching programs. I get to visit a lot of them. I get to look under the hood, right? That's my job. I freaking love it. As you know, we have a book coming out about group coaching. We also have a book coming out in 2026 about masterminds. There's a difference. We can talk about that in a second. Here's the beauty. I'm getting to your answer. Right now, I'm researching, not for the group coaching book, that's the one we're launching now, but for the mastermind book. And it's the same answer for both. So I'm talking today to 3 other people who are household names. I'm not going to name drop. In the coaching space, everybody knows who they are. They run massive, super successful 20, 30-year-old masterminds, really awesome people. We're asking them what makes their masterminds so brilliant. Absolutely all of them say the same thing in the course of the conversation about this topic, a simple offer. They say something like, oh, well, we just get our group together 3 times, 4 times a year, and we don't really have a lot of curriculum. We just put them in a room and kind of get the conversation started, and they solve each other's problems. And they have the best 3 or 4 days ever. When they go home, they get a ton of stuff done. They come back and we do it again in 3 or 4 months. They all say something like that. None of them say, we have twice a week calls and curriculum and videos and processes and open office hours and whatever. None of them say that. The best run groups are the groups that help you do 2 things, I'm finding. Get a clear vision, clarity. I know where I am now, and I know what to do next, and maybe the step after that. I know where I am now, and I know the next step or 2 to take. And second thing, I have the relationships now in my life to pick up a phone and say, hey, I'm on this step. Can you help me shortcut that real quick? That's it. I know the next step or 2, and I know who to call when I get stuck on one of those steps. If you can solve that for somebody, they will change their life.
And what you just said, which is so brilliant, people need to rewind, listen to that part again. That's not only masterminds, that also applies equally to group coaching?
Yes. So for instance, I'm going to use this book. This is not a book. Yes, we're plugging a book right now. This is not meant to be a book.
Oh, we totally need to hear about the book too, yeah. but go ahead.
This is just a good example. Okay. I'm going to hold up my book and I'm going to hold up my, what is this thing? This tablet. This is an iPad. Okay.
Yes.
My book and my iPad. The iPad represents a blank book that we're writing about masterminds coming up in 2026. The other book is The Business Coach's Guide to Group Coaching. Freaking brilliant book. Everybody should go order it right now and leave a 5-star review. All right. Here's the difference between a mastermind and a group coaching program. This book is about group coaching. The Business Coach's Guide to Group Coaching.
Yeah.
It's about group coaching. It is a group coaching book. It is a step-by-step process. That is what a group coaching program is. Okay, so if you're out there shopping for a group coaching program or mastermind and someone is branding it as a mastermind, if it's like we have 12 steps, 12 weeks, 12 months, we go through the process, we have all the coaching, that is not a mastermind. That is a coaching program. Okay, I'm just really wanting to highlight the difference here. They're both fantastic models.
Yes.
Do what's right for you and your market. A mastermind, on the other hand, is a group of people getting together to think. It's like a think tank more than anything else. They have common goals, common topics. It's the economy, it's real estate, it's relationships, it's health, it's business marketing, whatever it is. They're not here to follow some guru, i.e. the person running the group. They're here because the guru is a guru at putting the right people in the room.
Yes.
Those people get clarity and figure out their next steps together. So group coaching, which is what this book is about, is I have an expertise and I want to turn this into a program that I can sell at scale and make lots of money and change lots of lives. If you're one-on-one moving to a group, this is the step for you. If you're like, Chris, I want the think tank model, well, you're going to have to wait till 2026 because that book's coming out. But they're different models. And if you're in the market and figuring it out, running a true mastermind is more difficult than running a group coaching program. Start with a group coaching. Yes, start with a group coaching.
Dig into that for a minute. That's fascinating to me.
Okay, I don't mind. Yeah, I could nerd out on this for forever, dude. This is all I talk. I freaking love this. The easiness of running a group coaching program is that you have knowledge now as a coach, one-on-one, done for you, whatever your expertise is in. It could be training dog. We actually have a dog training expert coming to one of our in-person events coming up here in a couple of months. I think it's freaking awesome. Like, they're building a high-ticket group coaching program around dog training for other dog trainers, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That's the easiest thing to start, whatever your expertise is, because you already have your knowledge. You can already answer everybody's questions. And all you need to do is find 10 or 20 people who are what you used to be.
Yes.
You know who those people are. You know how to find them because they're you. If you're like, I don't know who they are, I don't know how to find them. Just look back at your diary 3 years ago. That's the people you're selling to. Okay? I know you all have diaries. Dear Diary, and it has a little clasp on the front. It's super private. Don't show anybody. Okay. If you're trying to build a mastermind, it's harder because frequently a mastermind has people in it who are above your skill level.
Yes.
They're bigger, better, badder than you. The imposter syndrome that comes with marketing that, the whole thing, it's a big deal. And it's not that you can't do it. It's just that it's a bigger step forward between your ears than building a group coaching program is. So I usually recommend people start the group coaching program. This is going to open 1 million doors for you. And then in like 6 months or a year, you're going to be like, oh, I see the through line. I could build a mastermind in this industry and make it meaningful.
That is really, really profound. That is really, really profound. I want to talk about the word mastermind, because I'm sure this makes you crazy. It certainly makes me crazy. I have seen the word mastermind applied to a $99 a month membership, which is what it really is. I have seen it applied to a free kind of coffee get together every couple of months. They use the word mastermind. I have seen this word abused, misused, misunderstood. If we're doing a mastermind right now in 2025, 2026, I hope people listen to this in 2026 when the new book comes out. Plus, we'll have to have you back, of course.
Let's go.
But they're hearing this word mastermind and they say, oh, I bought a mastermind. It was Joe Schmo's mastermind. It was $79 a month. I didn't like it. It was a waste of time. Oh, I joined a free mastermind down at my chamber of commerce. We got together for coffee every 3 months. Those people were all schmucks. They were all losers. I didn't get anything. I gave a lot more than I got. How do we restore the original, very impactful, very meaningful language around what you know a mastermind to be and what I know a mastermind to be?
How do we restore it? I don't know. I wish I did. I believe it's because it's cooler to be in a master. We perceive it to be cooler to be in a mastermind.
Yeah.
It's been popularized. The first reference of masterminding I can find is like 3,500 years ago, maybe 4,000 years ago in Asia, what is now
really
China. Yeah, they were doing it back then. They had it figured out. And then I think in our modern age, Napoleon Hill is
yes.
like Think and Grow Rich. Yeah, is that right? It is. Yeah, that whole like mastermind thing is real. A good example of a mastermind is the UN would be a mastermind. I like them or not, if they're accomplishing their goals or not, I don't know, but they're a mastermind. It's high-end leaders getting together to solve really complex problems and figure out the networks. That's a mastermind, right? Okay. All the big people that we all love and know in the coaching space that are doing things right have masterminds. And it might be, for instance, Tony Robbins' mastermind. It's $1 million a year to be in that group. It's absolutely a mastermind. You're going to get to, Tony can coach you on some stuff, but it's not because you're sitting there listening to Tony Robbins, even though it's 20 people in a room with Tony Robbins. It's because the people who are paying $1 million a year to be in that group are legit and they support each other and they get stuff done and they're on common tracks. That's a mastermind. So it's super cool for me to take my $10,000 a year group and call it a mastermind because it puts me in that same, woohoo, I got a mastermind like Tony Robbins. No, you don't. It's a coaching program. And it's okay to be most of what Tony Robbins sells is coaching programs.
Sure.
But there is one level of his group that maybe two that are true masterminds. And there's a difference. And man, it's marketing. At this point, it's marketing. It's like saying, I don't know. I drive a Tesla Model Y. Not to be political here, but it was a 2022. So yeah, don't spray paint my car. I got it because I'm an actual tree hugger. There's so many issues around that. So I have a Tesla Model Y. It's marketed as a luxury car. It's not. It's not. It's an awesome car. It's not a luxury car. But luxury car is a cooler thing to say than just stripped down basic electric car with an iPad stuck to the dashboard, right?
Right.
So you call it something bigger than you are. I think that's the misnomer. And unfortunately, it is what it is. That's why we're doing the research around it and just really helping people get back to center on, here's what this is. And if you want to have a really big impact in the world, there's a couple really good ways to do it. You can go group coaching or masterminds, just to understand the differences and play the game right.
There's a saying that's not my saying, but I love quoting it. I wish I knew who said it. If any listeners happen to know where this came from, please let me know. Drop me an email. The saying is this, Chris: low-level people want their questions answered. High-level people want their answers questioned. So would you say, is there an element of group coaching is for, quote unquote, whatever you want to call it, relative to your expertise? Group coaching is for the lower level people that really need the how-to. Masterminds are like a graduate program. Higher level people, they still have problems, but they have higher level problems. Would you say that's an accurate split?
That is a very accurate split. I hear all the time in the mastermind, the true mastermind space, as we're defining it here today, the people in those groups, we run one true mastermind at Group Coach Nation. We run 3 levels of group coaching and one true mastermind. The true masterminders desperately don't want to be the smartest person in the room. They're constantly generating amazing ideas. They have teams that are executing, or they're executing at a very high level. They're getting stuff done and the results are coming out like crazy. they're constantly wondering, what am I missing? They're not wondering, will I make payroll? They're not wondering, will the money double next year? They're wondering, like, I know the money's going to quadruple next year. What I'm wondering is, what am I missing? Because I just know in my gut, I could probably 10x that thing. And I just wonder what I'm missing.
Yeah.
And it's usually like little tiny things. It's like a small little change here or there, filling a gap, patching a hole on a garden hose that's making it all leak out. Like, it's a little thing. And they just want to get in a room with people who've done this a decade longer than they have, who have the insight to say, yeah, that's what it is, probably.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to talk about a little bit of harsh marketing reality, and I think you have some good solutions for this, but I want to know what they are. So it's 2025, it's 2026. Like you, I talk to a lot of facilitators, coaches, consultants. Some have group coaching, some don't. Some just have online courses, some have other things, corporate consulting. They say, David, launches are not what they used to be. We used to do $400,000, $500,000, $600,000 in a launch. Now we're lucky if we make $250,000. Facebook ads are not what they used to be. Man, we used to get 5-6 times return on ad spend. Now we're lucky if we break even. So, number one, have you seen launches aren't what they used to be, and Facebook ads, meta ads aren't what they used to be? And if so, tell us why that's not really relevant at all to your methodology.
A great question. Dang, good questions, buddy. Here's what I truly believe about marketing, which launches, virtual summits, webinars, Facebook ads, LinkedIn ads, Instagram ads, Google ads.
Oh, yeah.
Billboards, radio ads. I don't know. It's all in the same thing. Humans know they have a problem. I know I got problems in my life right now. I know if I stop and think, okay, I just did, I can identify 2 problems in my life. I've got them in my head right now that I would love to solve, that I've been trying to solve for several years. One's work, one's personal.
Yeah.
I still don't know how to do it. Okay. That's probably, I'm really giving a foundation for this. That's probably not because the information on how to solve those 2 problems, it's not that there's not enough information out there. There's plenty of podcast, books, and YouTube channels explaining this to me. I saw one of the answers, I saw a billboard yesterday driving down my street in my town that was targeted to me for this one problem. It's not that there's not enough information. It's not that I can't find someone who says they can answer it. It's typically because I haven't been caught in the moment where I'm desperate enough to change the problem, and a person has expressed enough knowledge where I can trust them, or there's a connection of trust. So I haven't, the crossroad of me being desperate enough and the right expert showing up at the same time has not happened yet for me, okay? Desperation, the pain is strong enough where I'm willing to do what it takes is one mode. The other mode here in this little project is, who's going to help me do it? Okay. Those 2 things haven't come together. Used to be newspaper. It used to be direct response ads in magazines. It used to be radio, then it was TV, then it's podcast, then it's Facebook ads, then it's whatever. Here's the job of a good marketer. What's working now for the people who are admitting they have a problem? And what's the messaging that you need to use to express that you can solve that problem?
Yeah.
And then third, where are you going to put that message? That message simply needs to go where those desperate people are hanging out.
Yeah.
To get information and then put a message out there. Facebook ads still work. Group Coach Nation is running Facebook ads right now as we speak. Great. We're running a coaching summit coming up, a 2-day virtual summit next week. It'll be too late for this show. But we're thinking about going back to webinars that we used to do in 2014 because we have a couple of friends of ours in a mastermind I'm part of that are tinkering with webinars now, and we're finding new ways to do it. It's not, is something broken? It's, where are the people who are desperate and ready to make a decision, and how do they want to interact with your information? Don't overcomplicate
Now,
it.
am I right that at the basic level, so some of your success stories of these entrepreneurs who are like just brand new to group coaching, am I right that you don't recommend them running ads on day one? This is not ad driven. This is about organic outreach, hanging out in the right rooms, virtually, not virtually, webinars, speaking to generate leads and interest. Tell us about the mix of sort of inbound and outbound that a brand new person should be focused on, and what should they not be focused on?
Yeah, I haven't recommended somebody run Facebook ads in the first probably year in a long time.
Yeah.
Here's unless they're one of those, less than 20% who have a very mature list and a market, and we have a lot more dialed in.
Yeah.
Here's what you got to remember. Never replicate what you haven't proven that pays the bills. Okay. Don't replicate what you haven't proven. So we always recommend that our people figure out, look, we're going to go sell 5 or 10 seats in a group coaching program, mastermind, whatever you want to build. We need to be selling those north of $10,000 per seat, US dollars. There's a lot of scalability reasons and profitability reasons behind that $10,000 number. Anything less than that, you're just on a slow burn to bankruptcy, or you're just going to wear yourself out.
Yeah.
$10,000 or more, we got to go sell 5 or 10 of those seats, which means you're probably going to have to talk to 30 to 50 people. All right. That project right there, if well done and guided correctly, will give you an enormous amount of marketing detail. We'll show you what and why and when people buy. If we can figure that out and you can go deliver those goods for whatever your term is, if it's 12 weeks you're selling or 4 months or 6 months or whatever, then we can rinse and repeat. You make money, you get paid to build, and then we're going to use the resources that you just made. Let's say you go sell 10 things, $10,000 a pop, that's $100,000. Let's say it's a 12-week process you're teaching in a group coaching model. That's $100,000 in 90 days. Now, for some, that's a lot of money. For some, it's not. If you want to start one of those every month or once a quarter or whatever, I don't care. But what I do care about is we just made $100,000 proving a model works. And now we have some marketing budget and some living budget. Let's go repeat and make that 200,000. And let's make it 400,000. Let's get you cranked up. Our goal is to get people to 50K months as soon as possible, because there's a little bit of magic in that number where you have enough to live on typically and enough to start actually investing in what does growth look like.
Holy smokes, so much value in this episode. Listen, if you are loving what you're hearing, feel free to download, subscribe, tell a friend, leave a review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you're listening to The Selling Show. Now, back to the interview. So when you say 10K offer, 15K offer, that might look like it's $1,000 a month, right? So that's a $12,000 a year, $1,000 a month, or 10K pay in full, correct?
Sure. Yeah.
Or choose your number higher than that, lower than that, but that's sort of the minimum.
Yeah. And that's a low water mark. And I'm not trying to say 10K is not a lot of money. And if you're like, that's so expensive, Chris, how can I ever charge that? Honestly, that's between you awesome listeners. If that's what you're thinking, that's in your own mind.
Yeah.
Don't put your own financial experience on your buyers. That's for them to deal with. Okay. The 10K number is simply because if you're going to do group coaching or mastermind, that means you're actually going to be spending time with people. If it's not an e-course, which e-courses are awesome, I have nothing against them, but if this is not what we're talking about here. We're talking about group coaching. If it's not an e-course, you're going to show up. You need to be getting paid for that, or else your time, the bottleneck is always going to be you and your time. And if you're not getting profitable enough per minute you're on a call with these people in a group scenario, you're not going to be sustainable. This is not about you getting rich. You're going to make plenty of money. This is about building a sustainable business model. That's a big deal.
Yes. Before we dig a little bit more into the book, and I definitely want to get this book into as many people's hands as possible, in my experience, there's essentially two different kinds of group coaching programs. One would be a live-led, cohort-based, start date, people go through, end date, they graduate, pat them on the head, off they go. The other one is It's not necessarily live led. So there is curriculum, there's videos, there's training. And then it's like flip the classroom, right? A lot of university programs, grad school programs, you watch the professor's lecture on video, then you come into the seminar room and you take it apart, questions, problems, obstacles. Hey, Chris, I tried this. It didn't work. Can you help me tweak it? Which one do you recommend, or is there a situational case for each one?
Situational. And here's why. You need to deliver what will actually bring the fastest transformation to your audience. Period. That's what people want. Okay.
Yeah.
I want the easiest, fastest way to get my problem solved.
Yeah.
So if your audience is one that learns more by, hey, I need to watch a video on 3x speed and then show up and ask 2 clarifying questions to get like this straight, then that's what you should do for your audience. If your audience is an audience that needs to show up and really talk it out and really think through this, and maybe a little bit in person, a little bit virtual,
yeah,
you do that for your audience. It depends on the thing, right? Typically, let's just use an example. Typically, a more technical process. Let's say you're teaching how to set up AI processes that help coaches market. There's some technical stuff that needs to be recorded so you can pause, set it, play, pause.
Yeah.
That would take 10 hours if you kept it interrupted in a real call.
That's right.
And then there's some of that, though, that needs to be like, oh, okay, I just did all this, but I just need to make it my own and I'm struggling with a few points. That's where a call comes in. Versus, let's go to the other extreme. The other extreme would be a program that's designed to help parents have relationships with estranged children. Retirees who have estranged children and are trying to get those relationships back. You can have them watch a few videos, but really it's going to come down to, maybe 5 or 10 retiree couples getting together for a weekend of meaningful conversation led by a therapist and having some breakout sessions. They're going to get a lot more out of that a lot faster. So know your audience and how does this material need to be delivered based on the type of material, technical versus relational in this case, and the audience that's adopting it, right?
So good. So good.
We teach, by the way, David, I think it's good to note in this book, we have, I've interviewed so many experts. We have experts in all types of businesses, all types of industries.
Yeah.
Because I want you to see, oh, here's how it works in this space, because there's not one size fits all. There's a process to building a car. It needs to have 4 wheels, an engine, and a power source and fuel. But does it need to be electric or gas? That's up to you. And we want to give you examples of that. But the 90% of it is just, okay, we got a chassis, 4 wheels, some seats, and a steering wheel. Are you going to put batteries or a gas tank in there? We can talk about that.
Totally. Well, I do want to get into a little bit of some of the goodies in the book, because my suspicion is that this book is so good and so powerful that people will say, oh my gosh, Chris took like a $10,000 program and put it between the 2 covers of this business book. So please tell us a little bit about your journey writing the book, and then what kinds of things people can expect once they've gone through it.
Oh man, I'm so glad you set it up that way, because that is exactly what it is. So here's what we're doing. We are declaring July 1 Coaching Independence Day. All right. That is the launch date for this book. There's going to be a link down below wherever you're finding David's stuff. And the only link we're going to share is go sign up for this book. All right. There's a pre-order link. Get on there. The book comes out July 1. The July 1 launch includes, and this is why I'm so excited about this. And if you're watching virtually right now, then woohoo, we just put fireworks on the screen. Let's go. We have a Coaching Independence Day. That's what we're doing here. The reason we're doing it this way is we've taken our $15,000 program and we've put it in the book. Okay. We literally took our content and we put it in the book. This is walking you through, how do I make sure my market is a good one and can afford me? How do I build an offer that's right for this market, that's a group coaching offer? How do I price it? How do I figure out what that market is like desperately in need of? Like all those things, that's in the book. Here's what's cooler. On July 1, you get access to a $3,500 membership area for free. where we've taken all the interviews that are in this book, all the templates, any tools that we're using. I go through a video process to explain all of those. Here's where you put your numbers. Here's how you build out your business model. Here's how you build your offer. It's literally all in the membership area. They're in the book and in the membership area. All the interviews in the membership area. And then in September, we want to give you 60 days to work on that. It's all included for the price of the book. And then you get 60 days to work on that. And then we're doing a 2-day virtual summit where I'm actually there live coaching. And we're going to say, okay, where are you at with this process? And how can we make sure this is actually hitting your market? You're making sales. It's happening. You get a special invite to that 2-day summit. That is what we're doing for Coaching Independence Day, July 1, with the launch of this book. I'm so freaking excited about this.
Can I just put a label on this for people that might not have caught up here? This is redonkulous. This is a redonkulous offer. It is incredibly generous. It is incredibly smart. I love this so much. And so we will totally put that link in like bright blinking 4th of July colors and lights directly under this episode at thesellingshow.com. Chris Williams, as we're landing the plane here, if people were to take one central idea from our conversation today about all the amazing reasons to have and start and grow a group coaching empire of their own, what would you hope that core central takeaway would be for them?
Freedom. Okay, this is going to sound so redundant because I have fireworks behind me, but I have, this is embarrassing. I have one tattoo. It's right here on inside my left bicep. You can't see it for the screen, but it's right there. It's the word free, F-R-E-E. Freedom is the theme in my life that I am driven to pursue. So this Business Coach's Guide to Group Coaching book is 100% about getting time and financial freedom back as a coach or an expert, author, coach, speaker. If you're trying to sell your wisdom, the theme of this is simply get time and profit margins back. I'm just going to open the book randomly to a page here. There's a page with words on it, right? Nope. Look at that. Virtual screens don't do well. There we go. You can see this.
Words, beautiful.
Words, yes. Lots of words and QR codes and things you can engage with. It's really cool here. The margin around these pages, I don't know, it's a book, like an inch, maybe a ½ inch, whatever, around the pages, right? That's the margin of your life. If you have words going edge to edge in your life, then you're frantic. You're not going to get clarity. You're not going to know what the next 1, 2, or 3 steps are. When you can create a little bit of space, time and money, then all of a sudden the business gets clear. You know what decisions to make, and you can actually change your business and so many people's lives at the same time. And that's why we're doing this.
Totally fabulous. Well, Chris Williams, this has been incredibly, incredibly helpful. Folks, you are going to want to rewind, you are going to want to re-listen, and you are going to want to take yourself to the links under this episode. Right now, pull the car over, get off the treadmill. I don't know what you're doing, but hit up the link to get on Chris's list for the book, the training, the launch, the 60-day amazing membership, and the two-day event?
Yeah, two days.
Event.
It's freaking awesome.
All of that, your gateway to all of that is the link directly under this episode at thesellingshow.com. Chris Williams, you're a rock star, my friend. I appreciate you so much.
Thank you, David.
And that wraps up another episode of The Selling Show. Hey, tell you what, if you like us, rate us and review us on Apple Podcasts, subscribe, tell a friend, go grab the notes and downloads and extras at thesellingshow.com. See you next time.